Hi, it's Jen from Shabby Fabrics, and today I have a new notion that I know you're going to love. Over the years, if you've watched any of our applique videos, you've seen me use applique pressing sheets. I've used a variety of them from different manufacturers, and this is brand new. It's called Fuse and View. It is by far my favorite. I cannot recommend this to you enough. You're going to see why. There's two sizes that we're carrying, and you know what? The truth is you're going to want them both, and you'll see why. Now, the project behind me, this is Easter Sunday that was designed right here by Casey Young. He's our creative director. Casey is so talented, and I had the privilege of being able to add fabric and just make the project come to life with his beautiful drawings. But as you can see, these applique motifs, the chicks and the ducks and the church, you're going to want to be able to pre-assemble those as a unit before you bring those onto the background. And just due to the size, you can see why having a larger applique pressing sheet is necessary as well. So again, Easter Sunday is so special. On your kitchen, dining room table rather, you can imagine that no matter where your guest is sitting around the table, they have something to see and talk about. It's really a conversation starter too. So I want to encourage you toward those kits. Of course, all of the applique shapes are pre-fused and laser cut for you, so that all you need to do is literally pick up the pieces, just roll this back, the paper will come right off, and the fusible, you see that shine there? That's your fusible webbing, and that's what will be gluing everything all together. Now, let's just jump right into it. You've got, of course, a light box. We have those in a variety of sizes. This is the wafer 3. This is the largest light box that we're currently carrying. If you like doing larger projects with larger applique, you're going to want this size. If you do generally smaller projects, maybe a wafer 1 or a wafer 2 will work well for you. But again, I'll be demonstrating the wafer 3 today, but more importantly, I want to show you about the features of this particular applique pressing sheet, the Fuse and View. So we've done some of our shapes ahead of time, but I wanted to do one with you so you kind of see what it is about this that I'm so in love with and I can't stop talking about. And now is really going to be the only thing I'll be using in my own home studio. The first thing I love about it is that it has a tackiness to it. Some of the previous applique pressing sheets I've used, it just tends to slip around. As you can see with me just putting that down, I can't even shake it off. It's literally there. So I can either move this to a wool pressing mat or an ironing board and iron it, or today, one of the things we've discovered with this amazing pressing mat, this wool, is we can now bring this right underneath the project and it's not going to move. In the past, I've had things kind of slipping around and I've been just very carefully, like afraid to even kind of breathe, move it over and iron it down. So this offers you some additional options of potentially bringing the wool pressing mat to it or moving it to the wool pressing mat or an ironing board, and it's not going to move on you. And that's an amazing feature. So the first thing I'll be doing with you today is let's put together the beautiful rainbow that we have. Now inside our pattern, we've done a lot of work on these patterns to make them so user-friendly. And we lay out for you and show you, I'll turn that off for just a second so it's a little easier to see. You're pre-assembling section J, you're pre-assembling section O, you're pre-assembling your cottages and your cobblestone walkway with the English gardens. So we help you know which sections you would be pre-assembling. How do you go about this whole pre-assembling that I'm talking about? Let's go do that right now. So I'll peel this back so you can see the diagramming. So we'll be doing the rainbow here. That's this section, O. So we've said O piece 1 goes down first, O piece 2 goes down second, 3 and 4 and 5. So we'll always start with the lowest number. That's just how we do our patterns, and I think this is one of the nicest features about our patterns is you don't have to guess about the layering. What piece goes down first? A lot of patterns on the market today don't tell you that, and you're trying to visualize that, and it can make things a little bit difficult. So you can understand that we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'll lay this back down. So you'll start with Lightbox. This is your layout or assembly diagram. Will go next. Applique pressing sheet on top. Let's turn that on. And the wafer, all of the wafer light boxes, you can vary the intensity by pushing this button to be lighter or darker, brighter or less bright as you prefer. So you might want to vary that as it works best for you. Okay, so let's start with our purple is first. This is what I'm referring to right here. And you can see the outline here. I'm just going to pull this away so you can see it a little bit easier. You see how that fits perfectly in those shapes? So when you get our kits, the shapes should match those shapes perfectly. Can you hear that kind of tackiness? That's the literal tackiness of this mat. Here's the other cool thing. As you use the mat, over time, just the natural fibers from the fabric may start to collect on the mat. It might lose some of its tackiness. Here's the cool thing. All you do is throw this literally in your dishwasher and it'll come out fresh and new and tacky all over again. Now, historically, I would take this diagram and I would work with my smaller mat. In fact, we can do that. Let's go ahead and do that. Because there's no reason to be working with a large mat if you don't need to be. I can put that off to the side for now. The tackiness has it even kind of stuck to my mat or to my diagram. Let me just move that this way. We'll move it kind of out of the way. Let's use this one right now. So you can see how it's really helpful to have the two sizes. All right, so let's go with the purple first. And it's down there. And I'm going to keep referring to that. Okay, my blue is next. Oh, let's see here. How does that, it goes like that. I think I'll use my glasses and increase my chances of success here. There's that shape. And then my yellow is next. It's kind of like doing a puzzle, but you already know where everything goes. It is so much fun. You're not having to cut and trace and iron and cut out all your shapes when you're using a prefused laser cut kit. Okay, once you have that, I'm just going to push that down. Now at this point, like I said, I could either move this to the pressing mat or I just bring the pressing mat to it because it's not going to move. Now my iron is on a medium setting. The other thing I've discovered about the pressing mat, there's something about these, it kind of has these, it's like a grid pattern. Hopefully you can see that. What seems to be happening as I iron it is that the glue kind of settles into these pockets instead of kind of spreading out. All I know is that at times in the past, if I've heated something too many times over and over and over again, trying to get a shape to come together onto an applique pressing sheet over and over and over, sometimes when I would put that onto the background fabric, it wouldn't be nearly as sticky as if I'd only heated it one time. There's something about this applique pressing sheet where it seems to hold the integrity of the glue. So when I do bring it to the background fabric as a unit, it sticks better than anything I've ever used before. Again, maybe that's the technology of that, I don't know. But let's go ahead and peel that off. And look at how it's just, there's absolutely no residue whatsoever on my applique pressing sheet. And now my rainbow is in one unit. So let's take the smaller mat away, which you're definitely going to want that for smaller projects. And now let's go ahead and bring some elements together. And this is where this big mat is just invaluable. All right, let's just line that up like that. Now consequently, there's a pink or purple band. You can still iron on that. Don't think that's not a place you can go. You can. That was just the way that they kind of bound them at. Now this is so much fun. We're going to put a big scene together, and that's why having this big mat is so valuable. So you're going to put this down, and then we need to put, oh my goodness, he's so cute. I've got this shape done. We've got our kitty. You guys love the kitty. We keep hearing from you about the kitty. Okay, so I would need to make sure that I'm putting everything down in the proper order. Oh, we got to put a rainbow thing over on this side. Now our instructions would be telling you that. I'm kind of just doing it actively with you, trying to visualize everything. But our instructions make it abundantly clear what you would need to do. But do you see the point that I can see everything? These are pre-assembled ahead of time using the smaller applique pressing sheet. We use the big one for final assembly, and it just makes it so much fun. Let's see here. Let's look at our ground. We have, oh, this comes here like this. This tucks under. This comes like this. Is this adorable or what? Casey, you did such a good job designing this. And there were just some really fun fabrics out at the time, like this tree fabric that's no longer available. So guys, if this speaks to you, grab this, get yourself a kit, because these fabrics, just like this tree fabric, it's so unique. You're never going to find something like that again. We've sold out of the wall hanging kits. We still have some table runners and some pillow kits available. So again, these things aren't forever because these fabrics come and they go, of course. And then we have kind of our English garden in here. I think that's how we did our English garden. Let's see here. We might have done, I think these pieces lay in here. You get the idea that this kind of comes in like this. And of course, at this point, I would press everything down, making sure nothing's going to move. I can bring this pressing mat underneath as I prefer, or bring it to the pressing mat. And now you generally start pressing everything down. So I am all excited about these new applique pressing sheets. They are so amazing. And I just know if you love applique, or maybe you're thinking, you know what, I've never done applique, but I think I'm going to try. You know, we have so many videos available. If you haven't already been to the Shabby Fabrics homepage, be sure to go to the very bottom where it says free downloads. We've got all kinds of projects from piecing, lots of applique, both in cotton and in wool, and so much more. So thank you for letting me just demonstrate and show you why I'm in love with the Fuse and View mats. Be sure to pick those up, and I'll see you on the next Shabby Fabrics video.